It's 2.8. It's related rates. 2.8 related rates. So all of you, please pay attention. Simply, guys, this lesson is asking for rates. It's given one rate and asking for another rate. A minute, please. Delete all this. Yes, this is the problem, guys. Related rates problem. The idea is to find the rate of change of one quantity in terms of the rate of change of another quantity. Okay, so we should find first a relationship or equation that relates these two variables or quantities together, like volume, like area, like perimeter, like anything from the geometric formulas or algebraic formulas we studied before. وبعدين differentiate both sides with respect to time using the chain rule and implicit differentiation. Okay. Sure. Yes. Example 1. Air is being pumped into a spherical balloon. So you should know that it's a sphere. So that its volume increases at a rate of 100 cubic centimeters per second. How fast is the radius of the balloon increasing when the diameter is 50? So to solve this problem solving questions, you have to write dV over dt is equal to 100 cubic centimeters per second. This is the rate of a change of the volume with respect to time. When I ask how fast is the radius, dr over dt is the unknown. When the diameter is 50, so the radius simply is half the diameter, which is 25 centimeters. The sphere, it has a radius of what, guys? Of r. This is the sphere. The radius is r, and here the radius is 25. What's the relationship between v and the r? Volume and the radius of a sphere. The volume of the sphere
is 4/3 pi r cube.
4/3, excellent, Allah, pi r cube. Step 2 is to check that we have only two variables, v and r, only, not three. We have three variables, we should work on one variable to find it in terms of the other variable. My equation should be only in two variables, v and r. Not يعني أي two variables, just v and r here, خلاص, we have to differentiate both sides with respect to time. dv over dt is equal to, طبعا 4/3 pi is constant, and the r cubed, the derivative here is 3r squared dr over dt. So here a chain rule and implicit differentiation, and guys, we are differentiating with respect to time, with respect to what? To time.
So ما فهمت this part.
This part is to differentiate r cubed. It's a 3r squared times dr over dt, like y prime. When you differentiate in the implicit differentiation, the y with respect to x, it's y prime. Like this, here dr over dt, and a change of radius with respect to time. And then find substitute by the given information. dv over dt, it's 100, 4/3 pi constant. Islam, pin. Look at the board. And here 3, and the r is 25 power 2 times dr over dt, lower the unknown rates. So we can simply find, guys, the unknown rate, dr over dt alone on one side, with that's it. By using your calculator, it's 100, and this all over 4 pi over 3 into 3 into 25 all squared, and do this all in the calculator. Fraction 100 over
4 pi over 3.
4 pi.
Over 3.
We can cancel the 3 out, so it's a 4 pi into 25 all squared. So it's 0.0127. Okay, and we said the radius is centimeters, so centimeters per second. And rate. لا dr over dt, not volume here.
So I have to push the ball.
Yes, Mr.
So there's now the radius
مستر اللي فوق
Yes.
برضه
مستر
Yes.
عادي ترجع تعيد من second step والله شوي صعب يا مستر.
From the second step.
Yes. From dr over dt.
بس قبل ما تبلش
Differentiate.
سنتيمتر
R cube is 3r squared times dr over dt.
يعني نحسب الار كانها واي صح؟
Like y prime, like this.
يعني مستر الار هو الدي ار الار هو الدي ار اوفر دي تي.
What?
الار هو الدي ار اوفر دي تي.
No, we have there's a difference between the radius and the rate of change of radius with respect to time. Okay, when the volume increases, the radius increases like this. أو العكس برضه when the radius increases with respect to time. dv over dt. The volume 4 over 3 by r cube. It's a formula. The volume of sphere. Geometry, we know that the volume of the sphere is 4 over 3 by r cube.
100 centimeter cube per second is what? Is dt or dr over dt?
dr over dt is the unknown. He said, what is or how fast is the radius of the balloon increasing when the length is? How fast is the radius increasing? يعني the rate of change of the radius with respect to time. Okay, when the volume برضه كان الريت بتاعه كان 100. So in this kind of questions بعطيك one rate to find another rate. You should find another rate with respect to time. ديك الفوليوم rate of volume with time. بسألك عن rate of what radius. So what's the relation between V and R? Volume of sphere 4 over 3 by r cube. Differentiate both sides with respect to time. Time غير الفوليوم غير الراديوس. That's why it's dr over dt at FS. Okay.
اوكي مستر.
Not with respect to r.
respect to time.
To stop here and cancel dr over dt. No, with respect to another quantity, which is time.
The time here comes between.
Yes, between the volume and the radius. One more example. Yes, Abdullah, read that question.
A ladder 5 meter long rests against a vertical wall. If the bottom of the ladder slides away from the wall at a rate of 1 meter per second, how fast is the top of the ladder sliding down the wall when the bottom of the ladder is 3 meters from the wall?
Yes. In this question, you should here draw a diagram. Yes. Represents this situation. A ladder here, like this, stands for a vertical wall. So we have vertical wall. And we have here, this is the ladder. Now, مثلا, like this. So sure, this is the ground. Okay. Okay, guys. So the ladder is 5 meters long. Okay. If the bottom of the ladder, the bottom here of the ladder, okay, slides away from the wall. Here is the wall. So when this ladder slides away from the wall, so the horizontal distance will increase, right?
Yes.
At a rate of 1 meters per second. So you can name this distance x. From the wall to the ladder, the bottom of the ladder is x. So when the ladder slides away from the wall, معناها ان dx over dt equals 1 meters per second. Nice? Okay, it's a given. Given here, 1 meters per second. Then the question is on how fast is the top of the ladder? The top of the ladder is here. The top of the ladder is sliding down. هنا أكيد لما يتحرك to the right أو sorry to the left فأكيد برضه بينزل لتحت. The vertical distance which is we can name it y براحتك نسميها y. Okay. How fast is the top of the ladder sliding down? When the bottom of the ladder is 3. When the bottom of the ladder is 3 means here away from the wall. يعني x is 3. So what is the y by using Pythagorean theorem? Because 100% this is the right triangle. Okay, vertical wall with the ground should be perpendicular to the base, to the ground. So it's a right triangle, and the vertical distance y is 4. We know this Pythagorean triple 3 4 5 بيجوا دايما مع بعض in one triangle. After you finish drawing your figure like this at the right, you should write what's the given information and what also the requirement. dy over dt is equal to unknown. This is the unknown. So the relationship between the equation relates x and y here is the Pythagorean theorem, which is x squared plus y squared equals c squared. And c squared here is what? Is unknown. How unknown? It's 5. The hypotenuse is 5 يعني 25. بعد كده بتعمل differentiate with respect to x with respect to time. يعني 2x dx over dt plus 2y as we learned it in the previous chapter dy over dt, the unknown rate, is equal to the derivative of 25 is 0. 5 squared. The hypotenuse, the length of the ladder.
I didn't understand why y is equal 4.
Oh, you don't know how to find when I have a right triangle, Khalid, and the hypotenuse is 5
okay,
and the
fine,
leg is 3. So you can find the third leg by using Pythagorean theorem. 5 squared minus 3 squared. خلاص? It's 4.
Yes.
Okay. So now, guys, it's easy to complete your question to find the dy over dt. So dy over dt, let's substitute شوي. 2 times 3, and dx over dt, it's given 1. It's what here? 1 plus 2 times the y, 4 times the unknown rate, dy over dt. So 8 dy over dt in the left side starts down. Is equal to negative 6. And dy over dt is equal to negative 3 over 4 by meters per second. As you notice here, guys, the ladder slides down. The top of the ladder slides down. That's why it's negative.
That's why the slope is negative.
That's why the slope here is negative. حلو. Okay, so this lesson هو application على chain rule and implicit differentiation related rates. Any question here?
Can you go down, sir?
20 ما بتكتب ما شاء الله تفوق ما شاء الله بكتب انا
negative 6 over 8 or negative 3 over 4 meters per second. Meters per second, yeah, side. Yes, not area. Next question.
لما تبدا كان الامشي بالبدايه
Example 3. Khalid, read the question. A water tank has the shape of what? An inverted circular cone.
With a base 2 meter and a height 4 meter.
Yes, stop. So, guys, here, you read statement by statement and then draw a figure. So we have to draw what?
A circular cone.
Yes, inverted, circular, like this. Inverted, يعني like this.
Upside down.
Yes, the vertex of the cone should be to the down, yeah. Yes.
If water is being pumped,
What's the radius?
radius 2 meters,
And the radius here is 2
and the height is
meters.
4.
The height, this is the height.
The height will 3 meters
Is equal 4. Okay, wait. Then if water is being pumped into
Into
the
the
tank
tank,
at a rate of what?
2 meters per minute.
2 cubic meters per minute. يعني d what over dt?
Okay.
Because of the 3, so it's what? Because of this cube. Is it
VR.
Is it R or V?
R.
V. Volume. Because of the cube, mister. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is the rate, يعني dV over dt. يعني how fast you pump the water into the tank. بيتملى بالمعدل ده. طيب, find the rate at which the water level is rising when the water is 3 meters deep. The water level means the height, يعني dH over dt. And I'm asking for the rate لما الwater level بتاعه rising لحد ما يكون 3. Rising like this, guys, to be 3. Pay attention, please. Here is the water. Okay, rise till be what? Till be 3. 3 مثلا. The height will be 3. So please pay attention. The formula we have to use is what? The volume. Formula of cone.
1 over 3
equals 1/3 of the volume of cylinder, 1/3 by r squared h
times h.
by r squared h. The volume of cone is 1 over 3 by r squared h. In this question, we have a problem before we start to differentiate. أيوة, برافو عليك يا فيصل. We have 3 variables: the v, the r, the h. And the beginning of the class, I said we should guys check first, and I have 2 or not. So you have now dv over dt and dr over dt and dh over dt and product rule between r squared and h. Okay, so we should do, guys, one more step before differentiation. نعمل بس step واحد. We should find the r in terms of h, or h in terms of r. And this depends on the question. The question asking for dh over dt. Question asking for what? dh over dt. So you have to find the r in terms of h. So from this figure at the right, we know that the height here, like this, and the height will be 3 بعد شوية من الوقت, صح? And the radius unknown in this case. The radius is r. If you look carefully, guys, to this figure, you will find the 2 triangles. And using the similarity, we can find a relationship between r and h. Using what? Similarity you studied before in geometry, grade 9. When 2 triangles are similar, so corresponding side lengths are proportional. هل الترينجل similar أصلاً؟ Yes. Why? Common side.
They are congruent.
And also we have 2 angles in the first triangle are congruent to 2 angles in the second triangle. So as you see, guys, we have the big triangle, this one, and the small triangle. Okay, the small triangle here. أكيد معاهم 2 angles. المهم they are similar, okay? And the 2 right angles and the same angle here, our common angle between the 2 triangles. So by using a similarity postulate, the 2 triangles are similar. Because they are similar, so corresponding side lengths are proportional. Yes. So using the similarity, we can find and the corresponding side lengths are proportional. يعني 2 over 2, which is the radius of the big triangle,
2 over 4
r is equal to the height, the big height, h over 3, h over 3. Yes, which is 4 over 3. طب محتاجة h. ما هي ال 3 دي بتتغير. When it's 3. ممكن when it's 2, when it's 9, when it's 3.4. So to find a relationship between r and h, leave the h and r the same. In which triangle? In the small triangle. يعني don't use the 3, use it as h. لحد بس ما تطلع relationship between r and h. So 4r cross product is equal to h, and the r only is equal to h over 4 or h over 2.
بس ليه 2 over r؟
Mister, we have two triangles. The first one like this. This is the big one. The radius is 2 and the height is h. And the height is 4. هذا ثابت الفور ما بتتغير صح؟ أيوة. بس the small triangle يا مستر فيصل. The small right triangle has a radius of r. برضه changeable r, changeable according to the water. كل ما تعبي water كل ما الأرض تتغير. And the height in this case also changeable. So to find the relationship, خلاص, we know that triangles are similar. Are what? Similar. خلاص, they are similar, so 2 over r corresponding side lengths are proportional. يعني the r here over the r here is equal to the ratio between side lengths are equals 4 over h. And cross product and solve for what? Solve for r. And find the r. Understood now?
Yes.
So, alhamdulillah, we now have a relationship between r and h. So we can again write v equals pi over 3. 1/3 pi is the same as pi over 3. And the r now is h over 2 all squared times the height. So v equals, I'm going to simplify شوية, pi over 12. You know why? Because you should square the h and square the 2. Square the h and square also the 2. Squaring the h is h squared times the h outside is h cubed, and squaring the 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Again, square the h, واعمل لها multiply بالh اللي outside تكون h cubed, and square the 2, 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Now differentiate both sides with respect to time. dv over dt equals pi over 12 constant. 3.14 over 12. It's at the end is number. Times 3h squared times dh over dt. خلي بالك dh over dt هي unknown, right? dv over dt it's given is what? 2 cubic meters per hour per minute. فهناخد ال 2 substitute for what? For h also when it's 3. قال لك the water will rise to 3 meters. Okay, and then dh over dt is the unknown. Finally, dh over dt is equal to
27
2
pi over 12.
over this all 12 over pi times 3 times 9. 27 divided by 12. So make fraction, it's 2 over
27 divided by 12.
pi over 12 times على طول 27. Okay, 0.1. خلاص. So the answer is 0.283. بنطلع height يبقى what? Meters per minute. Not meters squared, not meter cubed. ده side عادي. Okay, this is the change of height with respect to time. Due to increasing of what volume? Yes.
بس تنزل تحت
خلينا زوم بليز.
انزل تحت واطلع فوق يا مستر. انزل سلطة.
صدق.
Okay, كده باين واضح؟
شكرا.
So this is the hardest question you have in this lesson, guys. This is the famous one.
صرت كثير هذا مسوي فيجواليز الفكره كنا بنسوي فيجواليز عشان تعرف الريليشن شيب.
Yes, this is the only example we have in this lesson when we have 3 variables. And بعد 4 lessons we will study optimization. دايما كل ال questions هتكون فيها 3 variables. And you should do the same step here. لازم تطلع one variable with respect to the in terms of the other. Okay?
هلا بس ناخذ اكثر من 3 فاريبلز.
لازم نعمل
3x square.
Hmm?
3x square.
3h squared.
Yes.
The derivative of h cube. What's the derivative of x cube? 3x squared or 3h squared. But here add h prime with respect to time or h over dt. مطلوبة. Change of height with respect to time. Now, last
مستر بس
example.
رجع فوق شوي، خلينا ناخذ سكرين شوت بس. عايز تسوي زوم اوت؟
لا بعت لكم الفايل.
طيب.
على طول بس. Example 4. Yes, Mr. Faisal, read the question. Listen carefully. Faisal Dabbar.
Okay, Mr. Car is traveling west at 80 kilometers per hour. بتسمعني
Okay,
مستر؟
excellent. حلو.
And
You
car
should read
B
guys statement by statement and draw each statement. Car A is traveling west. So
At
here's
80
car A and move to west like this. And 80 kilometers per hour. يعني this distance is x, for example. So dx over dt equals 80 kilometers per hour. Okay. Then complete. Car B is what?
A car B is traveling north at 100 kilometers per hour.
North.
Yes.
Okay, north like this. Okay. Car B moving like this north. Both are headed away, headed forward to the intersection of the 2 roads. لازم يحصل intersection between car A and car B. فهرجع تاني أعدل الرسمة بتاعتي. You know why؟ لأن لازم هنا الانترسكشن. Yes, يجي هنا. Here's car B. North, مستعجل. You should read the whole question first. North and west. لازم يحصل لهم intersection. Here's the intersection I.
North west. Okay.
طيب if this y يعني if this side y or this distance y, so here dy over dt is equal to 100. 100 kilometers per hour. Both are headed for the intersection of the 2 roads. At what rate are the cars approaching each other? When car A is 0.3 kilometer and car B is 0.4, يعني here 0.3 and the y will be what, guys? 0.4. So we can connect these 2 points and name this part Z. And when car A and the car B approach each other, يعني we should find dz over dt. dz over dt equal unknown. When this يعني the distance between A and B now, if it's 9, طبعا لما يقتربوا من بعض تبدأ تقل distance between them, right? So here, this is the distance between A and B. Z
is 0.5.
Z by default will be what? 0.5. And we know why, guys. برضو again the Pythagorean triple 435 or 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Okay, so what's the relationship or what equation we can use to relate x and y in this figure, in this situation? Pythagorean theorem. So the Pythagorean theorem is x squared plus y squared is equal to z, in this case, square. Differentiate both sides with respect to time. So 2x dx over dt plus 2y dy over dt equals what? dz over, don't say dz, okay? 2z dz over dt. The x is 0.3 and dx over dt given also 80 and 100. 80 plus 2 into the y, which is 0.4 given also and dy over dt is given 100 is equal to 2 times z. Z معتمد عليه. يعني you should find first z. Z is the hypotenuse of the right triangle at the right, and you can find it easily by not the legs or use Pythagorean theorem. It's now 0.5 and dz over dt, the unknown rate. Okay, guys, do you have any question till now? It's clear? Again, the question asking how fast or at what rate the cars are approaching each other when car A is 0.3 and car B is 0.4 from the intersection. So the change of z with respect to time, the distance between them gonna change. Approach each other. أكيد change rate means the derivative with respect. Evaluate 2 times 0.3 times 80. 48 plus 80 equals 1 dz over dt. So finally, dz over dt is 128. يطلع شوف اليونت yes it's kilometer per watt per hour.
بس بدي اقول لك شغله.
تفضل.
مستر انا كان بقدر اعمل 100 سكوير بلس 80 سكوير under the square root بيعطيني نفس الاجابه.
Yes, it's using what formula? Dx over dt all square plus dy over dt all square is equal to dz over dt all square. That's correct. How many minutes left, guys, in our class? So always, guys, let's say read the problem first. Number 2, draw diagram. Number 3, steps of solving related rates problem. Number 3, you should what? Write all given information about your variables and the rates, and you should, guys, determine which rate the question asking you about. Okay. Number 4, differentiate. Find the derivative with respect to time. That's it. Number 5 2 بقى ايه substitute وكده وتطلع الأنماط.
مستر
Yes.
can we next period عيد example 3 لأنه والله كثير صعب مستر.
In example 3. Yes.
عادي
Example 3 is
نتدرب
not
عليه.
hard. The hard part in this example is only one first step is to draw your circular cone. Wait, guys.
Similarity step هو أصعب شيء مستر.
Yes, the hard step I know that to find a relation between R and H, right? The similarity step.
Yes.
So you know we have two triangles. When you draw this cone, you have two triangles. The first one, the large triangle, has a radius of 2 and the height of 4. And as I said for you that the height is not changeable, so it's still 4. Because the cone will not change, right? The height of the cone will not change.
Yes.
But you have another triangle which is here. Okay, أنا ممكن أفصله برا خالص. كده. The radius is R and the height is H.
بس احنا مو حكينا الهايت 3 تبع التراينجل الثاني، ليه ما كتبنا 3 وخلاص؟
In case of يعني at this moment it can be 3 or 2 or 1.5. So the height of the small triangle it's changeable according to the rate of volume. حسب ما أنت بتعمل pump للwater inside this tank. The second height it's changeable, but the first one is constant. It's 4. So 2 over R is equal to 4 over H, and cross product and solve for R. H over 2. Okay?
Okay.
Any question? So as guys stop here, and we're gonna continue inshallah tomorrow. Thank you. I will send this file for you. And you have to solve. You have to solve question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 6 homework. Okay, again, all of you listen carefully. The exercises here in this PDF that I'm gonna send to the WhatsApp group. question 1 to 6 homework. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.